Alright everybody, so what I want to do here is try and just give you a brief overview of how Age of Steam works and maybe do a couple run-throughs of a couple rounds. So you're going to have these two boards here as well as the board that you play on. And so you have your turn marker here and you're going to put that on the start track. And then you're going to play as many rounds as you have players. You can play up to 6 or 5, 4, or 3 players. I have 4 markers on here to determine a setup for a 4-player game. Everyone's going to start with a marker on the 1 link spot for your engine track. That means you can travel from one city to another city, or like from here to here. That would be 1 link. If you wanted to travel from here to here, then from there to down here all in one turn, you would need a 2-link track, then 3, 4, 5, and it goes up to a maximum of 6. Everyone starts with having 2 shares issued in the company, and so that's going to get you $10 because each share gets you $5 to spend. So that'll get you $10 to start with. Up here is the different actions you can select. All of these are the goods that are going to go out onto the board. The dice are used to replenish this board up here. This is the income payout track around here. As you move up this track, if you end up on spot 6 at the end of the round or turn, you're going to get $6 to spend in the next turn. If you get up here, 12, but once you get into this section, after you get your payout, you're going to have to go down 2 spots. So if at the end you end on 14, after everyone's paid out, then you're going to go down 2. If you're down in this section, you go back 4 spots in this section, back 6 spots in this section, back 8 spots. So if you end your turn on 48, and then you have to go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spots. All right. Additionally, you're going to plenish the board. You have a bag here with different goods in it. These little cubes are in there, and the board's going to be empty. And what you're going to do is you're going to reach in here and you're going to draw 3 cubes, and you're going to put them here, 3 cubes, and put them here, and then every other spot on the board is going to get 2 cubes. So for this kind of gives you an idea of there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 spots. All these white spots are where cities can be built up. They have rivers on. That's going to cost you extra money to build on rivers. They have mountain area. They have mountain area over here, which is going to cost extra money to build on the mountain area. And each player gets a thing of trains to use. Additionally, you're going to have money. You're going to have 1s, 5s, and 10s. You're going to have different single types of track that get laid out. They have just a gradual curve. You're going to have straight pieces of track, and they're blank on the other side to put out. You're going to have like really sharp turn track that you can put out. These little markers represent cities. In case you build a track over one of the white city spots on the board, you'll put a little city token on there to remind everybody that that is city track. You have crossover track, so somebody builds, a curve, and you want to go this way, you can build this on top of it so that your train can go that way. And they have other different ones. And then they also have coexisting track where you have 2 rail lines that don't cross, but they're on the same token. These are city tokens. You could build it to that you have multiple lines going into a city. There's different ones of those. And then these tokens here are going to be placed out on the board if somebody chooses to turn a town into a city. So the very first thing you do is you decide if anyone wants to issue any more shares in your company. If you decide to issue shares, you will move your marker to however many additional shares you want to issue, and you'll get $5 per share. So if this person wanted to issue, you start with $10. If you wanted to issue 2 more shares, Red could go up here. He would get an additional $10 to spend. However, at the end of the game, you're going to lose 3 points for every share that you have issued. So if at the end of the game, you know, this person was there, this person was there, and there, this person's going to lose 18 points, 6 times 3. This person's going to lose 12 points. This person's going to lose 9. This person's going to lose 6 points. So you got to decide if issuing shares to get money is worth it based on the points you're going to lose at the end of the game. So the first thing you decide is if anyone wants to issue shares. And so you kind of have to calculate how much money you're going to need throughout a round. And so right now I'm not going to have anybody buy any shares, but that is an option for them. Alright, so the next thing that's done is to determine player order. So you randomly put these things on the player order track. And then what you're going to do is you're going to bid for position. So if it's going to start with green to bid first, second, third, fourth. If you don't bid, you move to the furthest spot on the track. So if green wanted to bid or didn't want to bid, he would be going fourth this round in the stuff that he does. So let's just say it's the first round. Let's say green bids $1, and then yellow bids $2. Red passes, so he would go to 4. Blue passes, goes to third. Green then passes, he'll go to second, but he still owes his $1, so he'll have to pay $1 to the bank. And then yellow takes first place, and yellow has to put in $2 into the bank. So now yellow has $8. Green has $9, and both of these guys have $10. So if you're one of the first 2 people to bid, you have to pay your full bid. If you are the last person or the first person to pass, you don't pay anything. And then if you're anywhere in between the first 2 and the last person, you pay half of your bid. So, you know, had this person bid $3, all right, and let's say that $3 bid got them into third spot, they would pay $1.50 or 1.5, but you always round that up. And this person, if they had bid, you know, $2, let's say, and then dropped out, they wouldn't have to pay their $2. And these 2, so full amount for the first 2, nothing for the last person, half for anyone in between. So if it was a 6-player game, these 3 people would pay half of what they bid. All right, so after you bid for turnover or turn order, you're going to choose a special action for the round. And since white gets to go first, they get first choice of actions, and then green and then blue will get a choice, and then red will get a choice. So the actions you can do is this one, which is first move, which means when it's time to ship goods, you get to ship goods before anybody else, regardless of your position on the turn order track for that first good movement. And that could be helpful if you and someone else are both exiting the same city and you might be competing over the same colored good to deliver. Then maybe you want the first move. Right now, nobody has any track out yet. First build, that means no matter what order you are in the turn order, if you take first build, you get to build your track on the board before anybody else. The engineer lets you build 4 track. You can only build 3 pieces of track each turn, but if you choose the engineer, you get to build 4 pieces that turn. Locomotive lets you increase your engine level by 1. So on the engine level track, everybody can only deliver from one city to another. But if you needed to go in between cities, like from one city to another to deliver a good, that's 2 links, from one to another to another to another, 3 links. And so this would allow you to move up for free to move up on the link track, so you could deliver between more, or move between more cities to deliver your goods. So that's locomotive. Urbanization, that lets you take one of these future cities and put it out on top of a town. And towns are those tracks that have that look kind of like this. They have the white dot on them. And that will be important because maybe you want to build a city that delivers certain colored goods. For example, this dark letter E city is going to get placed onto it a black and a red good. So maybe if you're near a black and red city, if you put this near it, then you can put the goods on there out there, and then you'll be able to transfer them. Likewise, if you're on a city that has yellow goods into it and you need to deliver into a yellow city, placing this on the board will help you get your goods to where they need to go. So, and it's free to place that city, but only one person can do it per turn if they choose this action. Production is to add goods as the turns go on. Goods will be removed from here, from these little supply sections, and so maybe each city has a number or letter. So let's say you're building in the white 6 section, you're there, and then all your goods are gone. They've been placed and shipped. And so now you have track coming out of a city that has no goods that are going to be added to it. Well, if you choose the production, you can draw in the bag and add goods to the city so that your city produces more goods so you can ship from there still. And then lastly is turn order advantage. This lets you pass during the bidding phase one time. So let's say this was bidding order, and this person was first and they had gone on turn order. They could say pass and then see what these people do, and then it'll come back to them and then they could bid. Likewise, if this person had gone on the turn order pass, let's say this person then didn't bid and this one said $1, $2, they could say pass. This person could drop out and then this person could go there and then they would go there. But you can only pass one time. If it keeps going, you have to start getting in on the actual bidding war. All right, so since yellow is first, he gets first choice at building. So let's just say, let's just say he picks to build 4 pieces of track. Let's say green says he wants to build before anyone else. Let's say blue wants to go up 1 on the locomotive level, which happens immediately. So he goes from the 1 link to the 2 link track. And then let's say red wants to have turn order, the passing ability, so he could try and be further up on the next round. So he goes there. So now you have your special actions chosen. And the first thing that's going to happen now is you're going to build track. And though yellow would go first, because yellow's first, or yellow here is first on the turn order track because green chose build first, green gets to choose where to build first. Alright, so green is over here and he's looking at the map and he has to decide where he's going to build. Now, for example, let's say you wanted to deliver this red cube here to this red city, so you would have to build over here to there. Well, you can only build 3 pieces of track per turn, so 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, however he's going to go there. He's not going to be able to make it there on this turn. Additionally, if you're going to cross over a river, it's going to cost you an extra $1 to build. It costs extra to build on the city spots as well, so that's something else to consider when you're building. So, but if he wants to do a small build up here at the top, it's a 2 connection between those cities, so he could do that. And there, let's see. Alright, but none of these cubes, this is red and purple, and the nearest is blue, and this is yellow, so he's not going to be able to deliver between these 2 cities, so maybe he doesn't want to go there. Down here, towards the bottom, he could build here and deliver the red to the red city and the blue to the blue city. So that's an option. It's going to cost 2 for $7. Because of the river, there's an extra $1 to build over it. Likewise, he could look over here and maybe he wants to deliver this blue good to this blue city. There's no black cities on the board at the start of the game. To deliver the black goods, you have to build this is typically, it's supposed to be a black city that's gray, but anyway, you would build a city on somewhere on one of these towns. So if he had built this here, then he would be able to deliver a black good there. And you have to choose that urbanization action to do that. So let's just say he's going to build here. So this grassy area is going to cost $2 to build there. And then he has this one, another $2 to build to that one. And then $3 because of the river to build there. And so then he would take his train and he would show that this is a track that he's building between these two cities. And then now it would be yellow player's turn, who is the original first player, but because green chose the first move action, or not first move, first build action, he got to go first. So now it'll be yellow's turn. And yellow chose the engineer, which means he could build 4 pieces of track. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, he could build between here and here and deliver this blue good down to this blue city. But there's nothing going on here. Likewise, he could build between these two areas. It'd be $2, $4, $6, $9 to build there. And because yellow bid $2 at the beginning of the game, he only has $8 to spend, so he's not going to actually be able to build that track. Or he could start it and finish it later. And I'll just do that to show you what that's like. So he's going to start here, and he's going to go... Alright, so $2 for this piece of track, then $4 for this piece of track, and then 2 plus 1, $7 for this piece of track, and he's not going to finish it. So he's going to take his train and he's just going to have it hang on the edge of the track, meaning, he's claiming this track. Now, if he doesn't complete it or add to it on his next turn, then he loses his train on it, and it's just open track. So that's going to cost him $7 to do that when we pay, and then you pay for that right away. All right, so let's just say blue built here. He has incomplete track, but he's going to try and get down to this area, so that cost him $4. And red built here, but he's building over the river, so that cost him $6 to build between these two areas. All right, so now it's the next phase. So after you build track, you get to move goods. Now, nobody chose on the special action to be the first person to move goods. And so now only people with completed track can move goods. So, for example, down here, green can move this red cube to this red city. This comes off the board and goes back in that little draw bag. And so he crossed over one link, linking this city to this city. So his income's going to go from 0 to $1 because he moved over one link. Each time you move over a link, it's going to increase your income by $1. If he had gone from here like 1, 2, 3, then he would get $3 increased on his income, and your income increase is permanent. So he got that. He can't deliver yet. He can't deliver yet. And red over here is going to deliver this red cube to there. So red's going to go up to the 1 spot on the income track as well. And then now you get to go a second time. Well, neither one of them can deliver. So green's first to act. He's going to deliver this blue cube to this blue city. That's going to give him another $1 of income. And the red player is going to have the yellow cube deliver down to the yellow city. And that's going to give red another income. Now, instead of doing a delivery, you can use one of your delivery turns to increase your engine track. That's the amount of links you can travel. So I'm just going to increase blue and yellow by 1. Alright, so this is what I was talking about with the link improvement. So blue had chose the locomotive, which let him do this earlier. And then, so it was like this. So earlier he chose locomotive and went here. But instead of delivering goods on one of his turns, he increased by 1, and the yellow did the same thing. But you can only do that once. They couldn't, even though they couldn't deliver a second good, they don't get to take a second advancement. So he's done his action. Yellow's used. He didn't use it. He selected it, but he didn't have enough money to complete it. He's done his action. This one will be done later. So now you get paid out. All right. So blue and red are on the $2 income. So blue and red are each going to get $2, and yellow or green and red are going to get $2 each, and yellow and blue are going to get nothing because they're on the 0 spot. All right. So now it's the next stage of the game. So what we've done the option to issue shares, which no one did, which was the first thing. Determine player order, which was the second thing. select your special action, which is the third thing. Build track, which was the fourth. The fifth one was move goods between cities. 6 is collect your income. And now the seventh thing you do is you pay your expenses. Alright, so you're going to owe $1 for every share. So everybody has 2 shares issued, so everyone's going to owe $2. And then $1 for each finished track link that you have. So blue and yellow didn't complete any track links, whereas green and red did. So green and red are going to both completed 1 track link, so they're just going to have $1 plus the 2 shares. So they're going to each owe $3, whereas blue and yellow are going to each only owe $2. However, green and red got an income of $2, so even though they owe $3, it's only a loss of $1. Alright, so now let me explain what happens if you can't pay, because Yellow wasn't able to pay all of his bills already. Yellow had $10 to start with. He bid $1 in the turn order phase, or ended up bidding $2, so that took him down to $8. And then he built $7 worth of track, which took him down to $1. And then at the end of the round, he owed $2. Alright, so if you can't pay your bills, you're going to go down 1 spot on a track for each dollar you owe. So if somebody was on the 6 and they were short $2, their income production would go down to 4. However, if you're on the 0 and you go into the negatives, you're out of the game. So yellow's already out of the game. So we can remove his marker. He went bankrupt on turn 1. Alright, so now we have 3 players left. So everyone paid their expenses, and so now what you're going to do is you're going to check and see, does anyone have their income reduced? And that's what I was talking about earlier. If you're up in this area, you're going to go down by $2. Down here, you're going to go down by 4, 6, 8. Everyone's on this area, so no one has their income reduced. So now you go to the 9th thing, which is goods production. So you're going to roll dice, 1 die for however many players there were in the game when the game started. So the game started with 4 people, so you're going to take the dice, and you're going to roll the 4 dice. And so what you got is 5, 5, 6, 6. So you start up here with these 5s and these 6s. You start on the left and move right. So the top 2 goods for the 5s are going to go into the white 5 city, and these 2 black goods are going to go into the white 6 city. So on the board, the white 5 city is here. So those 2 goods will be added there, and the white 6 city, that's right there. So we'll add those goods there. So now this city has 4 goods, this city has 4 goods. Alright, had somebody built one of the lettered cities, then you would take the goods from the letter on the goods track and put it in the city, but nobody has done that yet. Alright, and so the final thing that you do is you advance the turn marker to the next stage, and then you start all over. So let's go through a second turn. Alright, so now you're going to decide if anyone wants to issue shares. Well, the green player is down to $1. So green player is going to go ahead and he'll just issue 2 shares. So that's going to get him $10. So he takes $10. And we got the red player has $3. Let's just say he issues 1 share. That gets him $5. And the blue player is down to $4. And he's just going to... yeah, he's going to leave it. He's going to leave it as, well, let's see, 1, 2, he'd probably be short, go up. All right, he's going to go ahead and issue a share. All right, what I was doing there is, this is something you got to do, is because you got to kind of calculate what you're going to owe later on in the game. So what I was thinking was this. All right, blue was here, so he's going to owe $2 at the end of the round. If he completes his link, he's going to owe $3 at the end of his round. Alright, so if he only has $4 and 3 of it is going to be going away to expenses, you got to see, well, how much money is he going to make? Alright, so he still has to complete 2 tracks to be able to deliver anything. So that's going to cost him $4. Alright, so he's going to cost of 4. This will give him a cost of 6. plus the completed link will give him a cost of $7. His expenses this whole turn is going to come to $7. And let's see, so he has 4. If he completes his link and is able to deliver 2 goods, that's going to put him up on the income track of level. It's going to take him to 6. 4 plus 2 is 6. He would be short $1, and then he would go. His income earning level would go down 1. Now maybe that's the better thing. You lose a temporary thing, whereas this is taking a share as a permanent 3-point loss at the end of the game. So maybe it would have been better for him to build and then go down 1 spot and not take the loan. That's for someone to decide, but I'm just going to have them take it just for the heck of it. Alright, so they did that. So they took their loans, which you don't have to do. And then now you're going to determine player order. So I just move these things up above the spots. Green will go first. Alright, so green, does green want to go first, second, or third? Let's just say he passes, and then so everybody passes. So now red's going to be first. Now you get to determine what actions you want. Red gets to go first. Red has a completed track. Let's say red wants to urbanize. He wants to build a city near him that he can deliver to. And then we'll have blue. He's just focusing on completing. He doesn't see there's any threat to cutting off his track. So he doesn't care about that. He's probably not in competition for goods anymore. Let's see, locomotive production. Well, I don't know. Let's just say he goes. This is how it makes a difference. With only 3 players versus 6, it's going to be much more significant decisions because the board's going to be more occupied and you have to think more about being cut off or not being cut off. Let's just say he's going to be taking the 4 tracks that nobody else can do it. He's not going to use it, but he doesn't want anyone else to use it. So he's just going to go there, which leaves green, and green will just go with, green's just going to advance his engine 1 level. All right, so he's already done his thing. All right, so that was the option of turn order. So now what you're going to do is you're going to build your track. All right, so red is first on our turn order because nobody chose to build first. So he also, because he chose urbanization, he gets to build a city from a town. So he has a blue good here and a blue good here. He also has 2 purple. Actually, blue's not far from him. So instead of building, well, okay, here's the thing. He could build, advantageous to him could be the blue or purple cities because he has blue or purple goods there. That's one thing to consider. Other things is looking at, well, what are the cities you build going to get you? And let me show you what I mean. All right, if he builds the purple city, that's city F. That's going to give him a potential to be near a red and a blue delivery good. And he's on a red city near a blue, so maybe that would be a good city to build. If he builds B, he's going to have a yellow good to deliver and a blue good. He's near those color cities, so actually that might be good as well. Additionally, he could put the first black city on the board. And so C and D are both black, and G and H are both black. So then you go, well, if he built H, he could have 2 yellow goods to deliver. The other thing to consider is if the black 5 or black 4 come up, what goods are going to be produced? Well, white and black are going to go there. So 5 could potentially produce white and black, so maybe he wants a black city over there. If a 4 is rolled, red. So you really kind of got to look at the chart to see what's going to be produced and whatnot. But because it's early in the game, let's see. He is going to... He wants the income this round, so let's just say he's going to go with a purple city. So later in the round, blue and red cubes are going to be produced. So he's going to build the purple city there, and he's also going to build track there between those 2 cities, and he's going to put his train on there, and that's going to cost him $2 to build that. Alright, so next it is the blue player's turn. So he's going to complete his rail here. So that's going to cost him $4, $2 for each of these tracks. So he's going to pay that. Yellow player's out of the game, so his train's going to come off. Next it is the green player's turn. And he's going to build track in here. So he'll place this track there, that, and that. So now he has the red that he can deliver here, and there's no yellow cities over here, but maybe he can build one over here, or likewise he can maybe build from here up to there to get his yellow goods delivered over there. We move goods, and red is the first player, so he's going to deliver this good from here. 1 link, 2 links, so he's going to deliver, oh, that's the right color, okay. He's going to deliver that, 2 links, so that's going to increase red's income by 2, taking him from 2 to 4. So that good has been delivered. Next it is blue's turn, so blue over here, he can deliver this blue cube down to this blue city, so that's going to increase him by 1 on the income track. Then next it's green, and green is going to deliver this red good from up here down to this red city there. That's going to give green a $1 increase on the income track, so that takes him to $3. Then it goes back to red, and red is going to deliver this pink cube to there, so that's going to increase red by $1. Now blue's over here, and he can't deliver, he's not connected to a purple city, so he can't deliver that. And you can't deliver blue to your same city, and there's no purple city, so he can't deliver that, so that's it. So actually I might have even miscalculated his income, so he probably would have taken a bigger hit earlier had I not had him take that loan. And then green gets a second option. He's only connected to black and yellow cubes on his, I need to put his train over there. So he cannot deliver, and so that'll be the end of the delivery thing. So now you take your money. So if we look at the income track, blue is on 1, green is on 3, and red is on 5. So red's going to get $5, he'll get $3, and he'll get $1. That they've collected their income, they're going to pay their expenses. So green's going to owe $4, $5, $6. Blue is going to owe $3, $4, and red is going to owe $3, $4, $5. All right, so red loses $5 of his income. What was it? Blue was 1, 2, 3. So that's the blue here. So he goes from 6 to 3. And green, it was, what was it? It was 4, 5, 6. So he's going to go down, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, $6. So he has $2 left. All right, so we've paid expenses, so now we do income reduction. Nobody's in these sections that have the income reduction spots, so that phase is skipped. And then next you do production, so we're going to take the dice, we're going to roll them, and we rolled 6, 6, 1, 4. So this 1 is going to go into the 1 city here, and then the 4 is going to go from here into the 4 city there, and the 2 6s are going to take from this 6 first, so that's going to go into this city up here where there's now 5 goods, and then the other 6 is now going to come off of here, so we have a black one going into the black 6 city. Additionally, the F city was built, so the F goods will get placed in the F city. And so now you can see the goods are starting to go away, and this is what makes the, production add 2 more goods worthwhile maybe, because you would just draw 2 goods out of the bag and you would get to place them wherever you want on any open spot. So the red guy could build up more goods in this city if he wanted. He could roll, take the production, grab 2 goods and put them on the F spot, and then those goods would get added to the built F city. All right, so That was the goods growth, and then the next thing is you just advance the turn marker and rinse, wash, and repeat.